is a question no one asks out loud in the corridors of power in New York. The journalists at the major outlets don't ask it. The senators don't ask it. The Department of Justice doesn't ask it. The question is this: who judges the judges? Because there is a man who has spent more than 30 years sitting in that building, a man who decided the fate of a prince, a man who sentenced a former president, a man who closed the only civil case that could have forced British royalty to speak under oath about a sex trafficking network. His name is Lewis A. Kaplan, federal judge of the Southern District of New York, and no one investigates him. It was 2001. She was 17 years old. He was the Queen's son. And the man who had brought them together, the man who had bought her, trained her, loaned her out, was named Jeffrey Epstein. For 20 years, Virginia Giuffre spoke. For 20 years, no one in the circles of power wanted to listen. Until in August 2021, she filed a civil lawsuit in New York, and the case landed on Lewis Kaplan's desk. Before becoming a judge, Lewis Kaplan spent 24 years at a firm. Not just any firm, Paul Weiss, the firm that the media calls the President's Firm. The firm whose alumni include 3 Supreme Court justices. The firm whose chairman, Brad Karp, sent warm, friendly emails to Jeffrey Epstein, after Epstein had already served time for soliciting sex from a minor. In March 2019, months before Epstein was arrested, the chairman of Paul Weiss reviewed a draft legal brief prepared by Epstein's lawyers. A brief whose purpose was to block victims who were attempting to modify the 2008 immunity agreement. The quotation marks around the word victims are Karp's, not the narrator's. And the judge deciding whether that agreement protected the prince, or didn't, was the man who had built his career at that very same firm. No one disclosed this. No one asked. The case moved forward. Let us listen to those who did speak, those who had the courage to identify themselves publicly, those whom the system promised to hear. Annie Farmer was 16 years old when Ghislaine Maxwell touched her during a massage, and Jeffrey Epstein climbed into her bed. She testified using her real name. She needed the world to know. Jennifer Arauz came to that hearing to tell the world that Epstein had raped her, and that his suicide in the most heavily guarded jail in New York had stolen from her the trial she deserved. Epstein did not act alone. That sentence is the key to everything. There was a prince. There were financiers. There were lawyers. There were judges who had been partners at firms that defended those same financiers. And the system that was supposed to investigate all of this was the very same system that had protected it. On March 10, 2022, Andrew, Duke of York, was supposed to sit in that chair for 2 days, under oath, facing the lawyers of the woman who accused him of raping her at 17 years old. Giuffre's lawyers had up to 6 witnesses linking him to her. They had the photograph, and Andrew did the only thing he could do to avoid answering those questions under oath. He paid. He paid a sum that was never publicly disclosed. Estimates range from 3 million to 16 million pounds. And Judge Kaplan closed the case with his signature, as if nothing had happened. The same judge, the same court. E. Jean Carroll, editor, writer, 79 years old, who said that Donald Trump raped her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in the mid-90s. May 2023 verdict. Trump found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. Damages, $5 million. Second verdict in January 2024, additional defamation damages of $83,300,000. But Carol's attorney, Roberta Kaplan, had worked at Paul Weiss at the same time as the judge. In the early 90s, he was a senior partner. She was a junior associate. The question hung in the air. Why does a judge who spent 24 years at that firm never need to disclose it? There is a law. It is called 28 U.S.C. Section 455. Every United States judge shall disqualify himself in any proceeding in which his impartiality might reasonably be questioned. There is no waiver available. There is no "we forgive it." If the conflict exists, the judge must step aside. It is not optional. But no one in the Southern District of New York stood up to tell Kaplan that. Not in the Prince's case, not in Trump's case, not in any of the cases connected to the Epstein network.